What's up? Welcome back for another K-pop album review. In this video, of course, we're taking a look at the brand new album from PSY titled 4 times 2 equals 8, which of course means this is his 8th album ever, and it's gonna be awesome. And there's a lot that I have got to say about this. So if you want to hear more K-pop albums, more just me discussing Korean music in general, you just want to hear my honest, brutal thoughts and opinions on this stuff, whether I like it or not, then please consider clicking the subscribe button down below so you can hear more of what I have got to say in the future. So with that little shameless self-promotion encouragement to, subscribe to the channel finished, let's get into the album review. And really, I just have to say that, I've been listening to this album since it came out, more or less nonstop since since it was released. If I could get the word out of my mouth, that would be awesome. I'm basically obsessed with this at the moment. It's really, really, really awesome. And so that just means that naturally, of course, I didn't have to force myself to listen to this as much as I have. So naturally, that just means that I have to make an album review for it. And so, of course, that's what I'm doing, because that's why this video exists. And I just gotta say, we're just gonna get this out here, and I'm gonna make a statement that I don't even know, but we're just gonna make a statement right here. And I just gotta say that this album right here is a reminder to me, and probably to a lot of other people, that there is more to PSY than Gangnam Style, than any of his other music videos and promotion songs that came after that. He's not just a funny guy. He is one of the most influential people in Korean music, or he was, if not, he still is currently. I mean, not only has he had an impact in Korean music, especially in his early career, he's also a really, really, educated and talented composer as well. So, going into this, if you don't know him from anything else other than his crazy music videos and stuff like that, then this album very well might be something that is wow, crazy. And I know it's really easy. I was definitely, went into this and it's PSY, new face. I love it. The music videos, they're goofy, they're silly. The music, those songs are, super high energy and corny and cheesy and whatever, but when you actually get into the other songs of the album, you'll realize that this dude, there's a lot more to his music than what appears on the surface. You got to dig down and actually be interested in listening to this stuff to really get an appreciation for who PSY really is. And I gotta say, it's very, very impressive. And I mean, like I said, it's really easy to dismiss him as the Gangnam Style guy or anything like that. But like I said, don't dismiss him. Take him seriously. He's a big player in Korean music. And most people don't even know. They don't even think about it. So, and I think that the best example, of course, or the best way to highlight that, the fact that he's just a influential musician, he's great at what he does, is just the variety of different songs in this album and the influences and just what they are. Because of course you've got the catchy songs that are supposed to be the mega hits that are kind of not necessarily aiming to be popular and widely known like Gangnam Style was, but they definitely are supposed to be the ones that grab all this attention because of PSY's hilarious personality, right? And that's New Face, and I love it. And I guess you could also say that Rock Will Never Die is also one of those songs as well, but I think something different about that song. I'll get to it later, but I do think something different about different with that. I think that the song featuring GD, do believe it's called Fact, is definitely something that is it feels to me like it's inspired, it's trap music inspired. I guess you can say that Bomb too with Bobby and BI too is a little bit like that. So it's awesome. So you think PSY, you go into this listening to, I Love It, right? And then you listen to a song featuring G-Dragon, right? Who you might not really consider that he would feature in a song from PSY, and what you've got is an actual song that is, I think, pretty heavily trap influenced, if not based solely on trap. That's crazy to me. I mean, it's not really crazy, but it is definitely something that I'm like, wow, just judging Psy off of the surface, reading, judging by his cover and his external appearance and personality and stuff like that. Like, you wouldn't expect that, but it is right here in this album. And that is, I absolutely love it. So what I think about Rock Will Never Die. So me being someone who is a, big fan of metal and rock music from starting from the 80s up until not necessarily modern times, because I kind of stopped listening to it over the last couple of years, but up until maybe 10 years ago or something like that, is like I grew up listening to a lot of it. So I think I personally really get the feeling from Rock Will Never Die as I listen to it that this is like a modern day, stadium rock anthem, like not necessarily going to draw a comparison to Queen or anything like that, but Queen is, one of those groups that's kind of considered stadium rock and stuff like that. There's a lot of other, groups and performers and stuff like that came around through the 90s, 80s, and 90s and stuff like that that are that stadium stuff. But this is one of those songs that is just like so high energy, epic, just brings all this energy to it. And of course it's rock based, so it has a lot of those elements from, hard rock and all that stuff from like the 80s and all that stuff, or just in general, hard rock in general. And I think that makes it something that's unique as well. It's something that people don't hear. And I honestly, since I hear everyone talking about their favorite songs off this album, I think this song is probably the most underappreciated song on the album. Because again, I think that a lot of people are kind of judging it at face value and just kind of categorizing it with his promotion songs for this album, but I think there's a little bit more to it that people are missing, and maybe I have the background and the the knowledge with the music that I listened to in the past to have a more full understanding and appreciation of it. Might be wrong. That might sound a little arrogant, and it might sound a little like I'm full of myself, but personal experience and all that stuff does matter. And, the personal history that you bring into whenever you listen to, music and all this other stuff is actually important, and it does shape the way that you view things. So I think that that's kind of, important to kind of take a note of. I think, is it the last song that's out on the song, Auto Reverse featuring Tableau, is a song, and I love this song too, because it's definitely a really, really unique blend of two different styles of music, and it really is a blend of new and old. And when I say new, I mean, of course, like the lyrics of the song are like hip-hop lyrics, because Psy was kind of originally like a rapper or hip-hop artist, sort of, a little bit. He still is, really. And the old style that's mixed into this is like, so for I guess international English speaking fans and stuff like that, like you watch a lot of K-dramas or anything like that, right? And so like all of the old people, all the old characters and that stuff, they listen to like these ballad songs on the radio or anything like that, right? And you know what I'm talking about. And if you listen to this song, like you definitely get that old ballad song vibe from the music track, right? And of course the intro with the vocal intro too, which is not, of course, a part of the song where Psy and Tableau are singing. But you mash that together, a little old meets new, and it's really, really, really good. It's not surprising. I guess I was gonna say it's surprising. I was like, it's not surprising, but it is surprising. I went into the, you hear the intro and you're like, what? But then as the song gets going, you actually listen to it some more, and it just continues going. You're like, I feel it. I feel this. This is definitely something new and different. And yet it is really, really, really awesome. And then on top of all of that, you've got the songs Refuge and Last Scene, which Last Scene features Lee Sung-kyung as the featured singer, and like those of course are like heartfelt vocal based songs. And like you wouldn't expect that maybe Psy would have like a really, really awesome singing voice like he does, but it's definitely something like I listened to that song for the first time, not being super heavy deep into his music, and I'm like, wow, there's some quality and some just ability about his voice that is really, really awesome. I really, really like it. And of course those songs are kind of a little, not a throwback, but they are definitely a little, moving back a little bit or to, an earlier point in his career or something, where those sorts of songs were definitely, a bigger part of his, of his repertoire, of the track listing on whatever his albums are that he was releasing. So that's definitely cool too. So I mean, I think that really the ultimate just way to summarize this album is that a lot of it is a kind of a blending of new music and old music, whether that's, old stuff from Psy or just old styles and genres of music in general. And you're just putting it together and you're getting a product that's actually really, really interesting, and that I think that just goes for like every single song in this album. There is not one that I do not really, really like to just like massive degree. And I mean, I really don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I've basically gone through every single song, and I don't do that for these album reviews unless I don't talk about songs on album reviews in my album reviews unless I think that the song is like remarkable and I can use it to like illustrate a point about the sound and the style and all of this stuff about the album. But I mean, I've talked about every single song on this album, so I think that every single song on this album is definitely noteworthy and remarkable. And if you haven't listened to any of them or you skipped one of them, like, you definitely should go back to it and check it out, because it will probably be worth it. At the very least, you will have heard it and you will say, I didn't really like that. And I think that at least is definitely worth something. And then of course you have a little bit of knowledge of some of the other stuff that Psy's done. And then you can like use that knowledge to then judge his later music and just inform yourself a little bit more. And I think that is also valuable. So my rating, because I don't actually give a number score for these videos, for these reviews, but my rating on like, is this album worth spending money on? Would I personally buy it? And I gotta say, without a doubt, yes, I would buy this album. In fact, I'm actually going to be buying it not as soon as I finish recording this video, because I got to record something else after, but tonight it is going on a shopping cart online. I'm going to, make an order for it, and it's going to, be at my house in a week or two. So that's like how much I like it. And I got to say, this is a contender already. We're not even nearly halfway through the year. This song is contender for one of my favorite albums of the year. Just, so good. It is so good. And it's really good when you spend like 4 or 5 days, with an album on repeat, and it hasn't really gotten old. Actually, it's just now getting old, but like, I've listened to it. I've just had so many repetitions of this album and all of the songs. It's not even funny. So that's all that I got. When I talk about this album for like 13, 14 solid minutes, you know that it's good and that it left a little impact on me. So I want to know from you guys what you thought of this album, what your favorite songs are, why or why not, whatever, any sort of comments and feedback and just anything that you got to say about this album is very much appreciated down below. We're trying to get a little friendly and respectful discussion going on down in the comments, because that is what this community is all about. So if you want to join that community, then please consider clicking the subscribe button down below so that you can join and become a part of the discussion at some point in the future. So that is going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.